Call to order the regular council meeting of Monday, November 10, 2025. We would like to begin by acknowledging the land in which we gather is within the traditional territory of the Sekani people of the McLeod Lake Indian Band. Start off with adoption of minutes. The special meeting held on October 27th. Minutes are found on page 5. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, we'll adopt them as presented. The committee of the whole meeting, October the 27th, found on page 6. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, we'll adopt them as presented. In the regular council meeting of October the 27th, are there any errors or omissions? Okay, adopt them as presented. We have no late items this evening. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Wright, Councillor Barnes? All in favor? Carries. Public comments and questions. Please note that all comments and questions must pertain to items listed on the agenda. Are there any members of the public in attendance this evening who wish to comment on the agenda? Administration, are there any members of the public attending through Zoom or phone that wish to comment on the agenda?
No, Your Worship.
Thank you. So this evening, we do have a petition and delegation. Jill Irwin, the section head for strategic initiatives with the Ministry of Forest, is going to presenting the Mackenzie Forest Landscape project and their hope to engage the community and the District of Mackenzie be part of this process. So welcome, Jill.
So thanks for having me, guys. I don't have a presentation today. I do have brochures. Can I hand them out to you? Is that okay? Can you hand them down?
Sure can.
Counselor around. So the forest landscape planning, it's a process, and we've actually been scoping it for a couple of years. We've had great engagement actually from Joan, from Councillor Andy, pardon me, Mayor Atkinson.
That's okay.
And as well as Diane's been very helpful and had some meetings with Councillor Wright as well. So hopefully there is a kind of a base level of information on the process. There were some amendments to the Forest and Range Practices Act, so in 2019 and 2021. And the intention of those amendments was to better manage the land at a landscape level, and also to incorporate the views of Indigenous people as well as communities. So that's kind of why we engaged pretty early on with Mayor Atkinson and with Andy, and we've enjoyed having you at the table. So we're just really asking for your support in this engagement. We're doing a survey for 6 weeks. We're going to do 4 sessions at the co-op just to hand out flyers. We're going to have a tablet there so that folks can actually take the survey. It is a very basic survey, just seeking to engage and understand what values community members have or place on our forest ecosystems. So that's it. Just hoping you guys can share. I have talked previously with your staff, and they've been willing to kind of share it through the channel. So just wanting to inform you guys formally, and if there's any questions, be nice, but you're welcome to ask any questions.
So does anyone have any questions for Ms. Irwin? Yes, go ahead.
I guess my question is actually more for our staff. Is there anything you need from council to do what Ms. Irwin's request of us here? It sounds like it's already happened. Okay, so nothing you need from us.
Yeah, so those information sessions that Ms. Irwin is talking about, that's going to take place at the mall, Councillor Barnes is going to participate because he's our community forest liaison and well-known and popular in the community too, so a bit of a drawing card. And then when he's not available, I will make myself available because we want the community to understand this is not just the provincial government rolling this out, that the District of Mackenzie is also involved. So does anybody have any questions or concerns or? Yes, go
Just
ahead.
encourage if you need any other members of council, please reach out. Happy to support this. It's a great project.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Oh, that's it.
So
Thank you.
You guys are too easy. Okay, I'll ask one more question. Then I have a flyer. May I please post it on your bulletin board in the lobby?
Oh,
for the
certainly.
survey?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, lovely. Oh my gosh, that was easy. I'll run that again.
Thanks, Jill.
You know what, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna hand the men for the public.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll move on to correspondence. May I have a motion the correspondence listed on the agenda be received?
So moved.
Counselor Wright, Counselor McMeekin, all in favor? Carries for action. 7.1.1, the 23rd Annual Chamber of Commerce Auction. The Chamber of Commerce is holding their annual auction this Saturday, November 15th, and they're seeking a donation of sponsorship or merchandise. In 2024, we provided a donation valued at $100. So what is, Counselor Bromowski, do you wish to?
Yes, I will be
Recuse yourself?
recusing myself.
Thank you.
I move to the recommendation.
Do I have a seconder? Okay, any discussion on that? So, Counselor Barnes, you were thinking the staff just
Just $100.
$100 cash donation? Okay.
Oh, did you do a basket?
Do we,
What was in the basket? Yeah, sure. That's better. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so basket up to a value of $100. Okay, perfect. Any further discussion? Yes, Counselor Kylo.
Instead of buying something, could we give like a donation of lift tickets for the ski hill or to the rec center?
Well, staff can, I guess, decide what they wanted to do. The lift tickets for the ski hill are now seasonal, right? So you buy a season's pass for about like $150, and it might narrow the amount of people. Because we do have a lot of nice items in the storage room, like some beautiful woodworking that's been done. We have paintings from local artists. We have bags for your canoe. We have caps. So, yeah, I don't know what is everyone else's thoughts or Miss Kane.
We might be able to work with rec on like a discount, like maybe $10 towards a ski pass or something. There's lots of options.
Oh, okay,
but like you said,
okay.
Give us to play within $100, we can figure
Sure.
something out
Yeah.
and try and meet the needs of everyone.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor? That carries. And Councillor McMeekin, I think you're going to excuse yourself for the next. Thank you. 7.1.2, the Williston Lake Elder Society Seniors Resident Signage. The request from the Williston Lake Elder Society is to replace the current signage at 86 Centennial Drive that would read the proposed future home of the Williston Lake Elder Society Seniors Residents.
so I'll move that we approve the request.
Councillor Wright, second, Councillor Kylo. Any discussion on this? Yes, go ahead.
Do we know what the intended sign is to be made of? As much as we'd like construction to start tomorrow, we know it's going to take several years before anything happens out there. And I'm just want to make sure it's going to be something that's going to stand the test of time and not turn into an eyesore before. we
Yeah,
actually
and I
finish
think they're
something.
going to repurpose what's already there. Is that correct, Mr. Fogarty?
idea was to leave the sign that says early voting there and put it in front.
Oh, okay.
Exactly what you said, wind doesn't whip it and destroy it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? All in favor? That carries. Thank you. Is there anything in for consideration that council wishes to address?
Are you going to address the one, I think?
I was going to pull 7.2.1.
Yeah, I'll let you do it, John.
Okay, perfect. Okay. The Canadian Animal Assistance Team Community Management Plan. I think this is something that's certainly worth exploring. We're on a very tight timeline. This application has to be in by December the 1st, so we're talking less than 3 weeks. But my intention is to reach out to the woman that sent us the first letter and just get some background information, and also to see what the engagement from the community is, because, you know, there are a number of emails and posts of people saying that they're very interested in participating, but what we don't want this to do is another job for our staff to be juggling. Certainly, our bylaw officer has a role to play in some of this, because I started out filling out the questionnaire, and there's some questions that I couldn't, like, how many feral cats do we have in town? I have no idea. But I think that, with council's sanction, that I would like to bring something back at our next meeting. So November the 24th, that if we could have that application fully completed. And so I will be reaching out to council, because one of the questions on this are, what are the community leaders' top 3 goals in regards to the animal management and care in your community? That's on page 26. So there will be engagement from council too, but I'm willing to take this on and then bring it back on the 24th of November. And then at that point, we can make the decision whether or not we're going to, because we'll have a better understanding of what support there is in the community, because we have to find a place to have this. And yet we have to provide accommodation for the veterinarians that come to the community. They do come and do work for free, but we have to cover all their expenses. So hotel rooms, meals, a place for them to do the surgeries, towels, tables. There's lots of little things to take care of. Yes, go ahead, Councillor Wright.
Thank you, Mayor Atkinson. You've outlined many of my exact same concerns, because one thing that wasn't clear in the letter is they outlined the role of a local community coordinator. And I wasn't clear if, like, the people who wrote the letters were saying that we as the district should be that community coordinator, or if there was somebody in the community who would take on that role, because that would change how I would approach this. Because I agree with you. I don't know if our staff, it's not something I want to throw on their plate to be that
Yeah.
community coordinator, but is there somebody in the community willing to take that on? So that's part of
Exactly.
your reaching out to see if somebody's willing to take that role. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, we have some Williston Lake Elder Society is a perfect example. They're in the room tonight. They're taking it and running with it. The Access and the Accessibility Committee, they're taking Marata, they take things and they run with it. And that's what I'm hoping is going to come out of this. If we support them, because we do need this, but this is not something that anyone in this office is waiting for a make work project. So we want to make sure the community engages in that. So I think at this point, we can just maybe move to receive the information, and you can tell me if that's incorrect, Ms. Kane. And then we can make that decision on November the 24th when we have some more information on whether or not this is even feasible. Because we do need to find a spot for free. And yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Could we maybe move to receive, and also that a report be brought back on the November 24th meeting with that? Okay.
Okay, perfect. So do you
Perfect.
want to make that?
Yeah, I'll
motion?
make that motion. Absolutely. Am I being bad putting a date in there? I know I've gotten in trouble for that in the past.
No, we have to have
Okay.
it by November 24th,
Okay.
or else we've missed the deadline.
Okay.
It has to be submitted by December 1st. Okay, can I have a seconder? Yeah, Councillor Tapper, any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Carries. Okay, is there anything else that anyone would like to pull from for consideration? Okay, we'll move on to administrative reports. Application for a temporary use permit at 11445 Highway 39, a storage facility use. And the recommendation that council directs administration to move forward with the temporary use permit application process for 11445 Highway 39 to operate a vehicle storage facility.
I'll move to the recommendation to get it on the.
Okay, Councillor Barnes, Councillor Tapper, discussion on this. And I see Mr. Weeb is in the chambers tonight, so if anybody has any questions. Yes, Councillor Bermosky.
So when that subdivision was developed, a large part of the purpose for it was intended that it would eventually turned to some form of agricultural use. I'm not opposed to this idea. I would just want to be certain that no matter what happens, that, you know, nothing that's going on is going to preclude that use in the future. So I'm talking basically about leaking vehicles and things like that. So are you intending to have drip trays under these vehicles while they're there for the up to 60 days before they're moved elsewhere? Or is that not the plan?
Well, you know.
Mr. Weeb, could I ask you to come to the table? We do have people attending by Zoom and phone so they can listen to your answers.
Sure. Well, to answer your question, yeah, to mitigate any environmental concerns, you know, drip trays and whatnot will be implemented, but primarily speaking, that would be quite rare. We have no intention of operating this or the wrecking yard or anything. Would be merely a holding staging area until either the customer or insurance or SMP directed where the ultimate destination for that vehicle to be. But yeah, they wouldn't. It is just a temporary solution to help the success of the business.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Councillor Barnes.
Hi, Dan. I guess our history with some other situations in town, probably, maybe I'm the only one who's thinking this, but you know, it leaves us a little bit nervous, I think, about that. So just as Councillor Rambowski asked there, how sure are you that you're going to get these vehicles out of there? They're going to be in and out kind of a thing.
Because of my history and my experience with it, I worked at Northern Towing, who still does work and operate in town here.
Yeah.
And as is obvious for everyone to see, the vehicles come into their compound and leave. They don't have acres of wrecks outside of their gated compound. They don't have abandoned vehicles or anything because they don't operate a wrecker. Neither do I. So the difference between those other eyesores and acres of wrecked vehicles and out on the streets and whatnot is because they operate their operations not just in towing and storage. We operate just in towing and storage.
Okay.
There will be nothing spilling over the streets or anything like that. And the proof is, if you look at Northern Towing's operations,
Yeah.
they operate similar.
Okay, thank you.
And I just want to, for the record, just state that Councillor Kylo left the room and declared a conflict prior to this conversation starting. So I just have a quick question. So would you have any opposition to having one of the conditions in your temporary use permit that no vehicle will be on site longer than 30 days or longer than 60 days, sorry? To prevent that from happening, to accumulating?
In a rare instance, for example, can I give an example?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm aware of one vehicle that's stuck at Northern, I shouldn't probably use their name over and over, but it's in their gated compound. It's stuck there because of a legal argument between the owner of that vehicle and ICBC. Well, there's nothing that we can do to force because the ownership status of that vehicle is kind of stuck between the owner and ICBC. There's nothing that we could do once it was in our compound, unless we violated the agreement that we would have with ICBC. And having this storage facility is the whole reason why we want that, is so that we can work for ICBC. It's imperative for our success, right?
Okay.
So in a rare case like that where we had no control over, it would have to stay in the compound. It wouldn't stay there more than 12 months, that's for sure. And that would be, it's only one vehicle that I've ever known to go past 60 days of my 3 years in involvement in this, right?
Okay.
So it'd be very rare, and it's against, it would be against our desire is to have a vehicle sit there for that long because every day it sits there, and it's not, nobody's paying for the storage. I mean, it's a problem.
Right, right. Counselor Wright.
Thank you. You mentioned another business in town that does similar work. Why is there, I guess my question is there a pathway where instead of you establishing a new yard, you're able to work with another business to use their yard? And what's is there a reason why you need to have a brand new location rather than utilizing already locations for this purpose in the community?
There is no opportunity to share a location with people that have a compound now. The compound needs to be registered in the business's name. There's a comprehensive application form to fill out, and you know, you have to have ownership of that property, the business that is being paid for the storage and totals and whatnot. Plus the idea of participating or helping with your competition, they're not interested in.
So that's an ICBC stipulation that you need to own the property? That's like that's
We
their
don't
rules?
But
Oh.
we have to have our own control with a lot compound, yes. So we're just starting out with this towing. We've had the truck for about 5 months now. My wife runs the detail shop in town here. There's no opportunity, nor do we want to burden anybody with looking at stored vehicles anywhere near Mackenzie Boulevard, right? That's kind of just, we don't want that. We won't even try to do that. And then we've looked at renting other parcels of land and stuff, and we just can't afford it right now. And that's why when I explored putting on the property that we own, you know, we could just do this temporarily. You know, so the temporary permit is only valid for 3 years from what I understand. So at that point, you know, if the business is successful or not, we could, you know, maybe purchase or lease or rent a piece of commercial property in town here that that's already allows for that.
Just one more
Yes,
question.
go ahead.
Again, it's probably more for our staff about the questions of how the temporary use permit works. If we did move ahead with this, there would be a period of like public engagement for the neighbors to give us feedback, correct? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's anticipated there wouldn't be a final decision until late December or most likely in January. But by the time they do the agency referrals, a public notice. So this is just to get the process going. Anyone else?
And if I could add, on the Emily and Terry were very helpful in you finding out all the rules of that property out there and whatnot, and the zoning and different zones and the access and whatever. The town has no responsibility from Highway 39 where the pavement ends to where my property is and where this yard's gonna be. They have no obligation to maintain it or anything as they don't now or ever have. So I've always, since I've owned that property, I have a motor grader. So I grade the road in the summer, plow the snow in the winter. So there would be no cost. And I get along splendidly with my neighbors because of that.
Smart
I mean,
people.
Jason Archibald helps sometimes if I'm away working. He's got a front end loader with a blade, but that's very seldom. And then also the people that have gravel in the area, they'll add gravel to the road if it's required. But we've got that road in really good shape over the last 6 years. Yeah.
Perfect. Any further discussion? So I'll call the question to allow the application process to commence. So all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Thank you very much for coming. It's always good to have a proponent here so we can ask questions.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that you had any answers.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
And Councillor Kylo is back in chambers. Okay, moving on to 8.2, Babine and Stewart Water Main Valve Replacement Review. Recommendation that council receives this report for information.
Motion to receive?
Councillor Bermovsky, Councillor McMeekin, discussion. Councillor Wright.
I just want to commend our staff for doing this reflection of this experience. It's you're critical of yourself, and that's not always easy. So I think it's a great exercise for us to learn. And so just thank you for being so open and honest and moving forward with this. So thanks to our staff.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Wright. Anyone else? And I just want to echo what Councillor Wright has said. This is a very comprehensive report and, you know, it's hard making a plan when you're in the thick of things. What's that old saying? When you're up to your you-know-what in alligators, it's hard to remind yourself your first task was to drain the swamp. But yeah, you guys, you did the best of a very difficult situation. So thank you very much. So motion, all in favor of receiving the report? Carries. 8.3, the emergency water main valve replacement. The council authorizes the emergency replacement work completed on the water main valve located at Babine and Stewart Drive at a cost of $70,631 plus GST.
So moved.
Councillor Barnes?
Second.
Councillor Wright? Any discussion on this? I just have one comment. If you go to page 70, I was really impressed by the small amount of, well, not small, but usually if a project, you're spending 50% on supplies and you're spending 50% on labor. And this project that came, that caught us off guard, our wages were actually under 40% for this whole project, and staff worked on weekends, in the evenings, so very, very well managed. Thank you. All in favor? Motion, thank you. Okay, I do not have a report. I'll have one ready for next meeting. So we do have written reports from Councillor Bermovsky, Councillor Tapper, and Councillor Wright. Does any member of council wish to provide a verbal report? Okay. Any member of council have any unfinished business? Any new business? Yes, Councillor Tapper.
Yes, with the holiday season quickly coming up, I would like the District Mackenzie to put on or to have on the radio some very positive well wishes to the public, but also informing them to please take care of themselves, please be responsible while out in the community, as it like safety, public safety messages.
Okay,
So I'd like to make that motion.
okay. Can I have a seconder? Yeah, Councillor Kylo, any discussion on this? I think it's a great idea. All in favor? Opposed? That carries. We have no bylaws. We have no notice of motion. We have a number of coming events. Of course, Remembrance Day ceremonies tomorrow at the Legion at, I think you have to be at the rec center by 10:45 to march over to the Legion. And then, of course, there are a reception following the laying of the wreaths in the Legion. The Community Forest is holding a public information session on Thursday at the Purple Bike. And I know Roy Ray from UMBC is coming up to talk about the impacts of harvesting on moose populations. And then Friday night, movie night at the Purple Bicycle. And that is the Logan Lake Fire. And Logan Lake was one of the first communities in the country to bring in Fire Smart. So I encourage everyone, you know, date night, tell your wife you're bringing her out to a movie. Break it to her when you get her there. So, and then of course, the 23rd Annual Chamber of Commerce auction is this coming Saturday. So I encourage everyone to go out and support our chamber. So do we have any inquiries from the gallery this evening? Any inquiries online?
No, your worship.
So we just need one more motion.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, Councillor Wright, Councillor McMeekin, all in favor? That carries. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in early.